My husband graduated from Harvard, he's a real elite. This isn't the kind of wedding for a poor dropout like you. Don't you ever come near my husband again, you might infect him with your stupidity.
At my subordinate's wedding at work, I was insulted by a classmate of the bride, who called me a poor high school grad. As I remained silent and endured, she went on.
Seriously, you reek of poverty. Just go away, shoo.
Susan gestured as if she was shooing away a fly. At that moment, the groom came over with a flushed face.
What are you saying? She is.
At the groom's shocking words, Susan's face turned pale. My name is Karen. The only thing slightly different about me is that I was raised by a single mother. It seems my father divorced my mother for some reason before I was old enough to remember, and I don't recall his face at all. In fact, I have no memories of my father even in my scant childhood recollections. It seems my parents split up when I was very young. I have a brother and a sister. My mother worked multiple jobs and was hardly ever home, so I took care of them instead. My brother and sister are very bright kids, and they never complained about our mom working and not coming home, just accepting it as the way things had to be. Perhaps knowing how we felt, she tried to finish work early to come home for us. But as I reached high school, I understood. My mother was pushing herself too hard. Compared to my friends' mothers, she was thin and it was normal for her to have only one meal a day due to her busy work schedule. When she came home, she would cut her sleep to do the household chores. I wish Mom could rest a bit, but we need the money. I don't want my brother and sister to suffer. As I was lost in thought about what to do, I saw a job posting at school. That's it, I should work. Yes, it was a job posting flyer. Thankfully, my mother had let me go to college. There were more job opportunities for college graduates than for high school graduates, which broadened the range of jobs I could apply for. This was the catalyst for my decision to start working immediately after graduation. I learned money and we'll be happy. That was my determination. However, seeing how hard I was working on job hunting, some of my classmates started mocking me. I had openly talked about being from a single-parent family, not thinking it was something to hide, but that seemed to add fuel to the fire.
Look at the poor girl from a single-parent family.
I was laughed at from behind in the hallway. When I turned around, there was a classmate, Susan.
Nice, the poor single-parent family girl doesn't have to study.
Susan said that, and the others around laughed along with her. I still think I should have talked back then. But I was too scared by the malice directed at me from so many people and couldn't say anything in return. Susan threw cleaning equipment at me. It was so sudden that I couldn't dodge, and a broom hit my leg. Ouch!
Clean this up, will you? We, unlike you, have to study, you know?
She threw a bucket and rag at me too, and I ended up having to clean. Days like this continued. One day, when I came home, my mother was unusually back from work. As soon as she saw me, she looked worried and spoke to me.
Karen, are you okay? Did something happen? Tell me.
I felt like crying at my mother's gentle words. But seeing her tired from work and doing household chores, I couldn't bring myself to cry. No, I'm fine. Just finding job hunting a bit tough.
Karen, don't worry about job hunting. You don't have to work so hard. We have something to fall back on.
No, I want to work. I don't really like studying anyway. My mother didn't press further or ask for reasons. She told me to do what I wanted. I don't think we have savings. She doesn't have to lie. If we really had savings, she wouldn't have to work so much in the first place. A few days later, it happened while we were together in the kitchen at home. My mother, who had been talking with us just moments before, collapsed right in front of me, my brother, and sister. It was due to malnutrition and overwork. She had been so busy at work without any break that her body had been crying out in pain. Pushing through the pain and always enduring it, she had finally reached her limit.
I'm sorry, Karen.
My mother kept apologizing to me in the hospital. No, Mom, it's not your fault. It was my decision.
But dropping out of college.
Yes, I decided to drop out of college to work in place of my mother. We wouldn't have any income while my mother was hospitalized. Thinking about what would happen if she collapsed again, I decided to start working immediately without waiting to graduate. It's okay, I'll find something soon. Although I was determined in front of her. When I got home, I was filled with anxiety. What should I do? Finding a job that hires a high school graduate. I was actually desperate. Without a college degree, the job options narrow drastically, and finding a job that can support a family of 4 is nearly impossible. I need to find any job, even if it means juggling multiple ones. That's what I was thinking at the time. That was when I got a call from school, and my teacher asked me to come in. The next day, I went to school, but I was led not to a classroom or the staff room, but to a meeting room. Excuse me. In the room, there was a man with a calm demeanor. I sat down as prompted, and the explanation began without me knowing anything.
Karen, this is the president of KS Company.
Oh, hello, nice to meet you.
Yes, you seem like a bright young lady. I run KS Company. Here you go.
The president handed me his business card. I remembered the etiquette I read about in books and awkwardly accepted the card. Looking at the card, I realized it was a well-known major company.
I've heard about you.
Oh, thank you.
I would like to invite you to work at my company.
What? I was surprised over and over again. The man in front of me smiled kindly at my astonished expression.
How about it?
Yes, please, I'd be grateful. Incredibly, the president of a major corporation came to the school and offered me a job. I can't let this opportunity slip away. I didn't understand why he wanted to hire me, but as someone desperately searching for a job, I immediately agreed. Thus, I dropped out of college and started working. A month later, I began working at the major company, picked up by the president, Mr. Kent. Everything was new to me, and I struggled to learn the job. It was very unusual for the company to hire someone with only a high school diploma, and behind my back, people whispered that I might be Mr. Kent's mistress. But if I can't make it here, I'll have to juggle part-time jobs, and then I won't be able to support the 4 of us. Especially since my mother's health hadn't fully recovered, switching to part-time jobs would make it impossible to sustain our livelihood. I endured desperately.
Karen, could you please do this for me?
Yes, right away.
Karen, please take care of this, too.
Yes, I'll start on it immediately.
Karen, can you get 30 copies of this by this afternoon? Organize them and take them to the conference room.
Understood. My seniors and colleagues, not caring about my struggles, kept piling on work and menial tasks. I was constantly battling the behind-the-back talk and my life's uncertainties, working frantically. I willingly took on the jobs that others disliked. After all, I couldn't afford to lose this opportunity. I went to the company every day as if my life depended on it. Years later, this document goes here, that one goes there. All right, finished early today. I sighed with relief as I wrapped up my work. I had become quite adept at organizing documents. After several years, naturally, I got faster at my job.
Karen, is that you?
Oh, Mr. President, good evening. As I was leaving the conference room, the president approached me. He seemed to be attending the next meeting.
Good work. I've heard from the employees that you've been doing well recently.
Really? Thank you so much.
Yes. I'm glad we hired you.
Being praised by the president made me feel recognized and happy. Years later, my efforts were increasingly acknowledged by others. And then, after a few more years, I became a manager at the company. Through continuous effort, I earned trust from those around me and achieved that position. Until around then, I had worked fervently for my family. Eventually, I was working hard to repay the company that had employed me for so long. Then, one day, the president called me. "Mr. President, may I come in?"
Karen, welcome. I have something to discuss today. Please have a seat.
Yes. Years passed, and I sat in the president's office chair, which had barely changed. What is this about?
Actually, I want you to take charge of a company.
What? I couldn't help but express my astonishment. Can someone like me really?
It's precisely because it's you, Karen.
The president looked at me earnestly.
This company aims to support homes like yours. It's a company that helps single mothers, a company for women.
Listening to him, it turned out the company actively employed single mothers and was gathered by people wanting to empower women.
Because you've experienced hardships firsthand, I want to entrust you with being the president.
I am. I was filled with anxiety. Can I really do this? But the president patiently waited for my response. I'll do it. Please let me do so. And so, I was given the responsibility of running a company. The company I was entrusted with was indeed a female-friendly workplace, as the president had said. Still, I found several areas for improvement and began to implement reforms. I actively hired single mothers as permanent employees and established a daycare and after-school programs within the company. We ensured that a child care professional was available every day. The company enhanced maternity and paternity leave, allowing employees with children to continue their careers with full Social Security and salary benefits. The ideal company I envisioned was gradually taking shape. As I was the one who became the company president, the employees were also motivated.
The president here really understands women.
I agree. It's so comfortable to work here.
I overheard this conversation between employees in the break room. They were talking about me. This boost in employee motivation created a sense of unity within the company. This led to the company's soaring performance. As such, the president of the headquarters had nothing but praise for me. Around that time, a male employee from the headquarters, Norbert, came on an assignment.
Nice to meet you. My name is Norbert. I'll be under your care from today. Please take good care of me.
His greeting was very polite, and he had an elegant demeanor that made a good impression. In a workplace already dominated by women, the arrival of a man of his age sparked gossip.
Hey, he graduated from Harvard.
Really?
Wow, it's my first time seeing someone from Harvard.
And he's single too.
Wow.
Given Norbert's gentle manner and communication skills, he would quickly become popular here. That's what I thought. However, after a few days, I noticed that Norbert looked downcast when he was alone. He would smile when talking to others, but his expression turned somber when he was alone. I wonder what's wrong. Is he okay? But men have their own issues, right? I was worried, but as days passed, I could see Norbert's face growing increasingly troubled. Finally, I approached him. Norbert, do you have a moment?
Yes, sure.
I started the conversation when we were alone.
I'm sorry. Did I make a mistake?
No, it's not that. I've noticed you haven't seemed your usual self lately. Are you okay?
Well.
Norbert's words faltered. He seemed to be struggling with whether or not to speak. I'm sorry. If it's personal, you don't have to talk about it. But as a president and as a person, I'm concerned to see you looking so distressed. Is the workload too much? Or is there a particular task that's troubling you? Please feel free to share anything work-related. I spoke gently to avoid any undue pressure. Trying hard to speak in a way that wouldn't hurt his pride, Norbert seemed to understand my approach, and he nodded slightly and began to speak hesitantly.
Actually, I'm feeling pressured.
Pressured?
Sometimes, when things don't go well at work, I hear he's smart but can't do his job. Is he really a Harvard grad? It's shocking and stressful.
I see.
I've always felt this way since I was young.
Really?
My family, well, my father was a company president, and we never struggled financially. So, a lot of people approach me for money. I've always felt judged by my title or wealth. I thought once I joined the company, people would judge me by my abilities, but it feels the same here too. It's like no one really sees me, and I start to wonder, what am I really?
Though Norbert didn't cry, he sniffled and turned away, as if trying to hide his face from me. He seemed on the verge of tears. Seeing Norbert like this made me feel a twinge of emotion. Everyone has their own set of problems, regardless of what they have. It's okay. Let them say what they want. You are you.
Yes.
I've been through a lot too, you know.
Really?
It was when I joined the company.
You went through a lot too, Miss President.
Yes. You were the president's son, right?
Yes.
I was a poor girl from a single-parent family. Listening to Norbert, I shared a bit of my past, but it flowed out as if it were just yesterday's story. My mother collapsed, and I had to drop out of college. I was constantly rumored about at the company. At first, they kept saying I was useless, questioning how someone who dropped out of college could be here in modern times. There were even rumors I was the president's mistress.
What did you do then?
I worked like mad. Just worked and worked. Because back then, I loved money. Just kidding.
Ha ha.
Let those who want to talk say what they want. They'll see eventually. I tried to cheer up Norbert with jokes and gestures. Whether I truly cheered him up, only Norbert would know. Regardless, I tried to be as entertaining and empathetic as possible.
Talking to you somehow cheers me up.
Well, you're talking to a college dropout who rose from poverty.
Ha ha ha.
The next day after talking with Norbert became noticeably brighter, as if he had transformed into a different person. He talked with a beaming smile, quickly devising solutions whenever there were mistakes at work. The communication with his colleagues, which had been a concern, gradually improved as well. I'm glad Norbert is feeling better. Eventually, I could even hear him humming to himself when he was alone. I was happy to have been able to help an employee. From then on, Norbert's work went smoothly. In just half a year at the company, his efforts were recognized, and he was transferred to the headquarters. I was as happy for him as if it were my own accomplishment.
Miss President.
Norbert, good work.
President, thank you so much. I'll be moving to the headquarters starting tomorrow. I really owe it all to you for getting this far.
Oh, come on. It's your own hard work that did it. No need to be modest. You've earned it, so go to the headquarters with your head held high.
Yes, and, actually.
Norbert handed me an envelope. I immediately understood what it was.
I'm getting married soon. I really want you to come to the wedding, Miss President.
Of course. I'm looking forward to the delicious food.
We'll prepare something fabulous for you.
On the day of the wedding, I headed to the wedding putting on a beautiful dress, something I hadn't done in a long time. Norbert is getting married. I can't wait to see who he's marrying. Excited, I arrived at the venue. Being the president's son, the venue was large, beautifully and lavishly decorated. There were people of all ages, from young to old. There were also guests from the company, and I exchanged greetings with them.
Miss President, thank you for coming.
Norbert, what a beautiful wedding venue. Congratulations again on your marriage.
Thank you. Both my parents are thrilled. We went a bit extravagant. Please enjoy the food. It's delicious.
Thank you. Then Norbert's name was called from afar.
Oh, excuse me for a moment.
The star of the show is busy, I see. Don't worry about me. Go ahead.
Yes, Miss President. I'll see you later.
In marriage, huh? Maybe it's time I found someone too. As I leisurely thought this, searching for my seat, a shrill scream from a woman echoed through the venue.
What? Why are you here?
I turned around to find my ex-classmate, Susan. She wearing a pure white wedding dress. Norbert's partner for marriage turned out to be my ex-classmate, Susan. It was the same Susan as the one who had scorned me as poorly educated. My grip tightened in shock.
You, the poor girl from back then? What? Are you jealous and just came to see? I don't remember sending you an invitation.
I'm here as my work is related to Norbert's company.
What? You work with Norbert? Ugh, that's the worst.
Susan scrutinized me from head to toe and laughed mockingly.
You still have that poor look on your face. It's such a turn-off. To think a poor person like you would be at my grand wedding.
As I felt uncomfortable, Norbert returned.
Susan, you two know each other.
He was surprised to see Susan and me talking. Susan slapped my back and laughed.
Not that well, just a college classmate. This person is crazy. She's just a high school grad, you know. She dropped out of college. A lowly educated high school grad from a single-parent family and super poor. It's so unbelievable these days. Really hilarious.
Susan clung to Norbert's arm.
Hey, why did you invite someone like her to our wedding? Norbert is a Harvard graduate, an elite. It's not a wedding for some poor high school grad. That's just a mismatch. Hey, Norbert, kick her out. Go on, shoo. Don't ever come near Norbert again.
Susan gestured as if shooing away a fly.
Ridiculous.
Norbert, with a flushed face, shouted loudly.
Norbert.
She's poor. She's a company president. And the person who helped me recover. What are you saying?
Huh?
Susan's eyes widened in shock.
A company president. No way.
I pulled out a business card from my bag. Susan snatched the business card from me as if grabbing it away.
This company. Norbert's.
You've gone too far, no matter what.
It's weird, isn't it? For Norbert, a Harvard grad, to work with a college dropout.
Huh, so you judge people by their education. You chose me for my education too, didn't you?
Wait. That's not it.
Then why did you decide to marry me? What did you like about me?
Norbert confronted Susan. Susan, twirling her finger and looking up at Norbert.
Because I thought being with a Harvard grad would secure my future. And you're the son of the president, And of course, you're handsome and hardworking. Being from Harvard and the president's son, that's part of your charm, right?
Norbert trembled with anger as Susan forcibly held his hand.
I mean, I fell for everything. Didn't I say I really love you?
No way.
Norbert shook off her hand.
Sorry, but I can't be with you. Susan, it's impossible for me to be with you.
Susan gasped in disbelief. It seemed Norbert was deeply hurt by being judged for his background and education. He then sincerely called for everyone's attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm terribly sorry for gathering you here. We will cancel the wedding and instead have a meal together.
Norbert. What are you saying? Norbert.
The meals will be brought to each table, so please enjoy the meal there. Don't forget to take your wedding gift back when you leave.
Hey. Why? Wait. Norbert.
He then faced Susan with a serious face.
Let's have a private talk with your parents and mine. I can't spend my life with you.
No. Wait. Why?
As Susan clung to him, Norbert tried to lead her away to talk privately. Before leaving, he looked at me and expressed his apology.
I'm really sorry for the rude words. I'll apologize properly later.
No, it's okay. You should have your talk with her first. Don't worry about me.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Norbert's somber expression was something I had never seen before. I sighed and returned to my seat, but I couldn't swallow the exquisite food before me. A few days later, Norbert formally apologized. And then he told me about what happened afterward. Norbert and Susan officially ended their engagement. Susan was disowned by her parents due to the incident. She tried to visit Norbert's house multiple times, but he refused to see her. And it turned out that the fault lay not only with Susan, but also with her parents. It was revealed during discussions between both families that Susan had been repeatedly told by her parents to choose a man based on education and family background. They disowned her because she was no longer engaged to Norbert, who had a prestigious education. Such a thing.
Yes, it seems her parents often told her that. I did feel some sympathy for her.
So that was the situation. After hearing that from Norbert, I felt troubled. As I watched him leave the president's office and head back to the headquarters, I pulled out a copy of a resume from my desk drawer. It had Susan's name on it. After the turmoil, she had applied to my company. At first, I thought Susan might have applied just to cause trouble, but after hearing Norbert's story, I became curious about her reasons listed on the resume. I just want to hear a little bit more. I decided to go ahead with Susan's interview. On the day of the interview, I met with her nervously. But Susan came into the interview room with a serious look in her eyes. She wore a neatly tailored suit. Her hair was well-styled, and the playful gestures that were once characteristic of her were completely absent. Susan, let's begin the interview.
Please do.
The interview progressed with such seriousness that it was hard to imagine she had ever jested before. Susan's expression was stern, showing no sign of malice. She answered the interview questions thoroughly. This concludes the interview. I was about to end Susan's interview after the last question. But then, something made me curious, and I had to ask her. I want to ask you this not as a president, but as a former classmate. Susan made a gulp sound. I could tell that she was nervous. Why this company?
I want to challenge myself.
Challenge.
I've stopped relying on men. This company allows women to rise based on their abilities, right? I want to carve out my own path in life, Not because my parents told me to, but because I want to stand on my own.
I noticed the determination in Susan's clenched fists resting on her knees.
I've looked down on many people, including you. But being disowned by my parents made me realize how flawed I was. I wasn't prepared to live on my own.
Susan.
It's only now that I've understood the struggle of being alone. But it's not like me to live submissively at this age. I'll work hard and not let myself be outdone by anyone.
Her seriousness made me more nervous than her. But after reviewing her resume and hearing her during the interview, I made my decision. In a week then, I'll send the details by email.
What?
I'm saying you're hired. It somehow reminded me of myself from a few years ago. I remembered the time when, struggling desperately, the president offered me a job. Knowing Susan's resolve, I decided to bring her into the company. And that decision proved right. Susan demonstrated more effort and dedication than I had expected. She showed more dedication than expected, respecting the single mothers and women with less education she once ridiculed, efficiently managing her work. With her high communication skills and intelligence, she remarkably improved the company's performance within a year. Susan worked so hard that it made me feel a bit envious. And that effort was apparent to the president who had hired me. Then one day, the phone rang. Hello, this is Karen.
Karen, are you free today or tomorrow?
Mr. President, good evening. Yes, I am free. Is it about a work meeting? I tensed up at the president's words over the phone. But the president surprised me with his response.
No. How about we go for a drink? The company you're managing has grown so much. Let me celebrate that a bit.
Yes, of course. I'd be delighted. That evening, I went out for drinks with the president. Having a drink alone with the president, who had been so supportive, was actually a first for me. I sat down, feeling both excited and nervous. The president, considerate as always, chose a relaxed setting for our gathering. As the alcohol loosened me up, I decided to ask him something. By the way, Mr. President. Why did you hire me? You came to the school for me, remember? Looking back, it seems so strange. I had been curious. The reason he specifically came to my school to recruit me, even after I had dropped out, had always nagged at me. I was completely unaware of his intentions at the time. When I looked at the president, he hesitated for a moment, remaining silent. But gradually, he began to open up.
The truth is,
Yes.
I am your real father.
Yes. Wait, what? My head, previously fuzzy from alcohol, suddenly cleared. What, father? The president, or rather my father, put down his glass of alcohol and began to explain slowly.
Things were not going well at work. I had decided to start my own company, but I couldn't make it work, and there was hardly any income. Yet, I worked desperately.
Because of this, he was rarely able to return home. Unbeknownst to me, my mother had met with my father a few times outside. However, he was too busy and could only spare a few minutes between work commitments, never managing to come home. By the time his business finally started to take off, I had already become a college student.
I offered to help with your tuition, but you were adamant about getting a job. Your mother said if I really wanted to help, I should employ you at my company.
Oh, that's what Mom meant by having something to fall back on. Then, as his company's performance improved, he started financially assisting my mother. My mother insisted she was fine, but considering I had a brother and sister, and the college expenses, he felt obligated to make amends for the past. So, he sent money every month to support her and our family.
What I did is unforgivable. I was always running away, leaving everything to your mother. When I heard she collapsed, the regret was immense.
So, the company I'm working for now is.
It seems my actions naturally led there. A company for single mothers. Perhaps it was my way of making amends to your mother and you all.
That evening, over drinks, I had a lengthy conversation with my father. Although shocked and hardly able to drink, I listened to various stories from the past.
I'm truly sorry.
The man I respected as the president, my father, was sincerely apologizing to me. But I quickly told him not to. Had it been my childhood self, I might have harbored anger towards my father. I might have asked him, "Why did you abandon us?" Or which was more important, work or family? But in the end, he helped our family. He is still protecting my mother's life. I never harbored any resentment towards my father. There were times I wished he had helped us sooner, but realizing that he employed me, cared for me, and watched over me closely made me feel that he had indeed been a father to me. From that day on, I had a father in my life. I gained a father who is also the president. I talked with my mother, and we decided to go on an outing with the whole family. I am incredibly excited about our first family trip. People should not be judged by their titles or labels. Even those with prestigious titles may lack effort or manners, and those who are less fortunate can be competent and successful. Rather than assuming based on appearances or titles, I felt reaffirmed in the importance of looking people in the eye and truly engaging with them.
Finally, the useless old man is leaving.
The manager, Susan, chuckles as she says this. She's planning to use her position as the CEO's daughter to kick me out of the workplace. My former colleagues also gave in to her pressure and left before me. Unable to find the words to fight back, I just gave a glance and was about to leave when a certain person appeared, and upon seeing him, Susan and the other employees suddenly started to tremble. That person was? My name is Michael Reed, 48 years old. In St. Augustine, one of the historic resort areas in Florida, I manage a historic inn named Reed's Inn. Our inn has been in business for 80 years now, and thanks to our loyal customers over the years,